My name is Jody Johnson, and I work here at First Alliance Church in the Discovery Land department working with the kids. About 7 years ago, I was working in a different job, and things got pretty overwhelming for me, and I got really sick. I started being sick all the time, and I didn't know why. And I went to the doctor, and basically they told me that I had an anxiety disorder. I couldn't go to restaurants. I didn't want to visit my friends. I was always afraid all the time. I was so afraid of having anxiety that it would stop me from going places. I truly believed that this was something that I was going to suffer with for the rest of my life, and that I was never going to be free of it, and I was going to either have to die so that I could be free and then be with God one day, or I was going to have to just suffer for the rest of my life. It was to the point where I was living in so much fear all the time that I just prayed and said to God, God, if this is where I'm going to live, I would rather die. And it was at that point that God intersected in my life. For all the years that I was really suffering with anxiety, fear was like a monster to me. It was like a kid that would be afraid that there was a monster under their bed. And I really thought it was just real, and I couldn't control it. I had no control over it. It's how I felt. And I've learned that that is absolutely not the truth. That God has given us all the tools that we need for peace, all the tools that we need to trust Him and to not live fearful, worried lives. It's not like His peace doesn't exist and then He just drops it in. His peace is there for us. If we're believers and we have Christ living in our lives, His peace is there for us. But we have to learn how to take it and apply it to our lives. It's like living in a house with your parents and your father gives you a toolbox. Well, you live with them, but just because you live there doesn't mean the work's going to get done. You still have to do the work. His plan was to teach me how to take captive my thoughts and make them obedient to Christ. And His plan to heal me was through this process. That in this situation, God was not going to just show up and touch me and all the fear would be gone and all the symptoms of fear would be gone. But that I had to do the work, that I had to commit, that no matter what and no matter how long it takes, that I had to stick it out, and if I did, I would get well. For the last 6-7 years, I truly did feel hopeless, and I don't feel hopeless anymore. Hope is a reality for me. I truly believe that one day I'm going to look back on this time period in my life, and it's going to be something that's in the past. It's not something I have to deal with anymore.